Savannah, Georgia, and San Bernardino, California yesterday made us here at Capital City Underground take a closer look at gun safety on campus and in Lincoln. Here's reporter Erica Nett live at the Union with the story.
Thanks, Connor and B. Just last month, Nebraska State Senator Tommy Garrett announced he'll introduce a bill that would eliminate gun-free zones in the state. Right now, those zones include hospitals, churches, sporting events, schools, and college campuses. On Tuesday, UNL's faculty committee passed a resolution that supports the current weapon ban on campus, but also opposes any legislation that would allow for the removal of the ban. Did it almost just go out?
Oh, it's still flashing. Why is it?
Donations from our supporters through Campaign for Nebraska enrich the classroom experience, advance research, fuel innovation and economic development, and enhance the campus environment. Campaign for Nebraska and the University of Nebraska-Lincoln thank our donors for gifts that write a story of success for the future.
The Faculty Senate made its opinion very clear Tuesday night. Out of the approximately 40 staff members in attendance, only 2 voted against the resolution. According to the current president of the Faculty Senate, John Bender, the Senate doesn't support the bill because it would not support the university mission.
Universities are places for reflection and discussion and study, and having a lot of people wandering around on campus with firearms doesn't enhance that.
According to Bender, it would not change the ban on campus, but would allow the Board of Regents to change the policy.
We were concerned that this would push off onto the Board of Regents a good deal of political pressure then to change the policy.
Currently, no dangerous weapons are allowed on campus. However, UNL Police Department does offer free storage for students, staff, and faculty who would like to keep their weapons on campus. Officer Dave DeBelka explains the process of storing weapons at UNL.
So it's actually very simple for those students that do choose to bring their firearms, whether it's for hunting or sporting purposes. All they have to do is just come down to the University Police Department anytime, day or night, 24/7, and just basically fill out a form with their end card, and we go ahead and get them set up with a gun locker, and we can just immediately store those weapons on campus.
One of the main arguments that supports lifting the ban is that gun-free zones are vulnerable and more susceptible to gun violence. But according to Bender, the evidence for that is not very strong.
There's no indication that these shooters are going to places just because they're gun-free zones. They're going to places where they have some other motive.
Bender said there isn't a lot of funding for research on weapon-related issues, but there are some people who have made attempts at learning more.
Journalists who have looked at it have come to the conclusion that campuses are probably among the safest places. There's not a lot of gun violence.
For Capital City Underground, I'm Erica Nett with videographer Nick Hermson.
Erica, tell us, what is considered a weapon on campus then? Is it just guns?
No, it's not just guns. According to the weapon policy, guns, explosives, and knives with blades longer than 3 inches can all be considered weapons.
And Erica, if the ban were to be lifted on campus, how would UNL's PD's operations change?
UNLPD told us that their role is to enforce the law. So if the law changes where weapons are allowed on campus, it wouldn't really change how they're going to act or operate, but it would just change the law that they enforce.
All right, well, thanks, Erica. Authorities are still investigating the motive behind a shooting that left 14 dead at a social services facility in San Bernardino, California yesterday. Police say the two suspects who died in an FBI raid late last night had more than 1,600 bullets with them when they were gunned down in their SUV. Police say the shooters also had more than 3,000 rounds of ammunition at their home, 12 pipe bombs, and hundreds of tools that could be used to make improvised explosive devices.
Last month, we told you about the Omaha woman who was hospitalized after the police say she broke into Henry Dorley Zoo to pet a tiger. 33-year-old Jacqueline Idy faces charges of trespassing and criminal mischief. Yesterday, we discovered that Idy pleaded not guilty to the charges. A new survey from the U.S. Census Bureau says Nebraska's immigrant population is among the youngest in the nation. The report says the median age of Nebraska's immigrants is just over 36. The Associated Press says that makes Nebraska's immigrant population the 6th youngest in the country, with the national average being 42.6.
And a new report by the Education Trust recognizes the University of Nebraska-Lincoln for helping underrepresented students succeed on campus. In the report, which examined 255 U.S. higher education institutions, UNL topped a list of 26 universities that narrowed their completion gaps significantly between white and minority students from 2003 to 2013. During that time, the university closed its gap by 15.2%.
Let's ease on down the road with The Wiz Live. Tonight will be the first time classic musical production The Wiz will be performed on live television nationally. The production will feature Queen Latifah, Common, Neo, and other well-known superstars. It's adapted from The Wonderful Wizard of Oz by Frank L. Baum. After tonight, the show moves to Broadway, where it is considered to be a major Broadway revival. The jolly Christmas season is coming, and good old St. Nick wants to make sure everyone feels included. In Charlotte, North Carolina, a mall Santa got down on the floor to connect with 6-year-old autistic Braden Deely. Braden's mother, Erin Deely, said Braden is a little shy when he likes someone, but when Santa got on the floor to play, the two bonded without saying a word.
Now, you've probably seen a car race before, but you probably haven't seen it like this. Next week, students in the Department of Biological Systems Engineering will face off in the Incredible Edible Vehicle competition on Tuesday. The cars must be made entirely of food, and the students are required to eat their cars at the end of the race. The race takes place in the East Campus Union from 2 to 4 p.m. And speaking of food, let's take a look at what Renata's got cooking. Renata, what do you have for us?
Well, Connor, what we have today is something to keep you a little warm in this chilly weather. We have baked apples in the crock pot here, and it's a really easy recipe. We're going to have it cooking for you, and something you can make for your friends during holiday dinners.
Coming up after the break, we'll find out what reporter Bailey Neal learned about the refugees resettlement process in Lincoln. Stay with us.
90.3 KRNU is the University of Nebraska's own radio station located in the School of Journalism and Mass Communications. Since 1970, KRNU has been providing Lincoln with new indie music, local artist promotions, and the long support of local businesses. This year, KRNU is celebrating its 45th anniversary and plans to be around for at least another 45. Tune your FM dial to 90.3 anytime, or hear us live online streaming at krnu.unl.edu.
I always knew I was going to study fashion design in college, and I kind of got addicted to the energy.
Just to be able to see all the hard work the students have put into it and how talented they are.
The most innovative designers are students, and I get really excited knowing that kids are still into it. There's just no other industry like it.
Syrian refugees have been a topic of controversy as of late. Reporter Bailey Neal has the story on how Nebraska is joining the conversation. Let's take a look.
The Syrian refugee crisis has led to the world, and images of daring escapes and harrowing journeys of millions in the Middle East, many with families and children. The problem now lies in the willingness of the United States and other countries to give them a safe haven. Nebraska has long been a refugee-friendly state, and that was clear when hundreds gathered in Lincoln and Omaha at a prayer vigil for Syrian refugees.
12 million Syrians trying to escape the daily threat of violence against their own bodies. Where will they go?
For now, not Nebraska. Governor Pete Ricketts released a statement asking that all efforts to resettle Syrian refugees be postponed after it was discovered that one of the terrorists in Paris might have entered Europe as a refugee, Ricketts is not alone. 31 other governors have asked to close their state's borders to Syrian refugees.
Human rights-wise, it's a big, big mistake. Logical-wise, it's a big mistake. Political-wise, it's a big mistake. There is no way that I can understand where the politicians are coming from.
Nebraska Appleseed, a nonprofit, decided they wanted to do something to show that not all Nebraskans agree with the governor.
It was a show of our Nebraska values and who we are as people. We'd been watching the Syrian refugees for weeks prior to the Paris attacks, and people were devastated by what they were seeing and wanting to reach out and help people in one way or another. And then that moment when the governors decided that it's not safe for us to take Syrian refugees, where people felt like this is really an opportunity where we can reach out to those who are vulnerable.
Refugee camps for years on. And then if you're lucky, you may get a country to accept you as their citizen. And that is a big deal.
Many former refugees spoke at the vigil and shared their own experiences.
Good to be an American, good to be a soldier, good to be a refugee, and good to be a friend. I'm your friend. Come and knock my door and say, how are you? Okay, let's have a dialogue. Let's talk to each other.
For now, resettlement agencies in Nebraska must wait. The governor's request can't legally stop them from pursuing Syrian refugees, but because of the extensive screening process, it could be a while before they're admitted.
Every family member is interviewed, whether it's the 6-year-old or the 90-year-old grandmother maybe. Everyone has interviews. They do background checks, there's medical background checks. It's definitely a long process then for them to get through everything to be cleared, you would say, for resettlement.
In the meantime, Lutheran Family Services has to continue working with the refugees they do have, and there are plenty. Nebraska is in the top 20% of states when it comes to resettlement, and they rely heavily on donations and volunteers.
Give us your tired, your poor, your teeming masses yearning to breathe free. Amen. Amen.
All right, so Bailey, we really appreciate you bringing this topic to us. I know people have been afraid about terroristic acts. Have there been anything in the past that happened?
Well, there's a stat actually. Since 9/11, over 750,000 refugees have come through the program, and only 3 since then have ever been arrested for anything related to terrorism. So really not a high percentage.
Well, that's good to hear. For people who are really interested in helping out and getting involved, can you tell them what they can do to help?
Definitely. Everyone can help by donating goods. They're always looking for clothes, furniture. A lot of these refugees come here with nothing. And volunteer your time. They just want people to help them learn English or, help play with their children, teach them about America, basically.
All right, well, that's good to hear. Thanks so much for doing this story for us.
Definitely.
Back to you, Connor.
Well, I'm getting hungry, so let's go see what Renata is going to tell us about this sweet treat she's cooking up. Renata, how's it going over there?
It's going great. So I just want to give you guys a couple of the ingredients here. So you need 1/2 cup brown sugar, 1/2 cup of old-fashioned oats, 3 teaspoons of cinnamon, and 1 teaspoon of a ground allspice. And then you just need your measuring cups and a couple of mixing bowls and a crock pot set on high. So what you're going to do is you're going to core out your apples that you have here, cut about 1/2 inch, off of the top here, just to make it even. Then with your mixed mixture, you're going to fill it in the apple that is cored. And then with that, you're also going to put just a pat of butter on top of it here. So see, this is what we have here. And then with that, you're going to get a little bit of butter. Put it right on the top, and that will help it melt. And then we're going to sit it in the crock pot. And that's going to be in the crock pot for about 3.5 to 4 hours. That's about the best way you can do it. It really makes it really warm, and you want to wait for the apples to get a really golden brown. But we'll see the final product after this. Now this week we have been going around the campus because it's so close to finals week to find out about little bit about the Dead Week policies. So this week I had student rights, and with JC John and Erica Nett, we went to the union to find out what students know.
With finals week quickly approaching here at the University of Nebraska-Lincoln, we wanted to find out how many students know what the Dead Week, now known as 15th week, policies really are.
If there's any homework during Dead Week, it has to be in the syllabus at the beginning of the semester.
I honestly didn't know there was a dead week policy, so I didn't think there was one. I thought it was just a rumor that everyone talked about having a policy.
First, I talked to one of my teachers, I guess, and then, I don't know, advisors. But other than that, I have no clue.
As far as I know, the dead week policies are just like, don't be too loud. All I know is that like the dorms have quiet hours 24 hours a day during dead week. That's all I know about the policies, I think.
I think the policy during dead week is that there can be no tests, quizzes, or homework due, and if there is a change to the syllabus, it has to be approved by the class.
We visit the ASUN offices in the Union and talk to the Director of Administration, Marlene Beike, to find out what the 15th week policies really are.
A lot of students think that homework cannot be assigned, which is not the case. It's if the instructor is placing the final exam with either a project, paper, or speech, the due date for the assignment can be anytime during the 15th week, or during the finals week, providing that the assignment has been given by the 8th week.
If you have concerns that your teachers aren't following the 15th week policy, Beike says to try to talk to them first, and if it still isn't resolved, to visit the department head or ASUN office. With JC John and Erica Nett, I'm Renata Guzman reporting.
Now let's head over to the weather, folks, and see what we can expect in this forecast this weekend.
With the Capital City Underground Weather Team, Cody, Audra, and Jake update Lincoln with your latest weather information. From the storms to the studio, let's take a look at this week's forecast.
Good evening, Lincoln. We talked about the Syrian refugee crisis earlier in the show, and now we're going to talk about how the weather sometimes pertains to these refugees and as they are relocating. Now, for those of you who may not know, Syria is located in the Middle East near Turkey and Iraq. As for their temperatures, currently it is 38 degrees. It's about 1:15 in the morning there, so there is a time difference, as you probably know. Also, it is clear tonight with about a 10-mile-per-hour southeast wind. Now, their average temperatures for the winter, 55 is their average high, which for us, that's above average temperatures. They are currently experiencing below average temperatures with about a high of 50 tomorrow is what they're looking at, which is also what we will be seeing here in the capital city. Now during the summer and spring, 76 in the spring and 98 in the summer, not temperatures unlike what we're used to. However, these refugees, as they are moving into other European countries, will be facing much colder temperatures than they are used to. It's 28 in Warsaw, 33 in Budapest, 34 in Vienna, and 33 in Berlin. Now, many times people don't think about these people as they are moving on their journeys, and they don't have anything with them, which could be like someone from LA moving straight to the middle of Nebraska without even a coat. It's not something you always think of, but it's good to keep in mind as we think about others who are experiencing hardship. For Capital City Underground, I'm Audra Moore. Cody Carlin is up next with your weather.
For Capital City Underground, I'm Cody Carlin. It's been a little bit of a wintry beginning to the week, but it's been warming up quite nicely today. Our current temperature is 40 degrees and sunny. Those south-southwest winds out of 5 to 10 miles an hour are really bringing us some warmer temperatures. However, tonight, with a little cloud cover, we're going to see those temperatures drop significantly. 24 for the low tonight. It's going to be mostly clear. Those winds are going to be nice and light out of the southwest at 5 to 10 miles an hour. Looks like another great day tomorrow. High of 50 degrees, sunny and pleasant, southeast wind at 10 to 15 miles an hour. It'll be just beautiful, almost feeling more like fall than December 4th for tomorrow. If we look now at our NCAA volleyball forecast, if you are happening to go to the Bob Devaney Center on Friday evening, 7 p.m., Nebraska takes on Harvard for the first round of the NCAA volleyball playoffs. It looks to be about 40 degrees, partly cloudy. Again, winds out of the south at 15 to 20 miles an hour, so it looks like a fantastic night if you're heading out to the Devaney Center on Friday evening. The week ahead looks fantastic as well. The weekend, 48 degrees for Saturday, Sunday at 47. As we look at the beginning of your work week even, we see nothing but sunshine. It's going to be a beautiful beginning to your week. 50 on Monday, 52 on Tuesday and Wednesday as well for highs. Those lows are sticking down towards the freezing mark, but it's going to be a beautiful week. For Capital City Underground, I'm Cody Carlin. Back to you.
Well, the Husker Nation's rifle team is currently ranked number 7 in this week's top 20 poll. They continue to show up and shoot out. Capital City Underground's JC John has the story, so let's take a look.
National championship trophies and NCAA accolades line the halls of the Military and Naval Science Building, home to Nebraska's rifle team. Although the team saw great success last year, Coach Ashley Rose McAllister knows they can keep improving as athletes and as people.
This year we're very young, and we do have a lot of great leadership on the team. We've got 4 seniors, so it's great to see them mentor the young individuals, but we're still kind of building, and we're midway through the season, so I expect next semester to be better than this semester, and next year to be better than this last year. And we have a lot of great character on this team, and that comes from our leadership, our seniors, and I'm excited to kind of see that character grow and morph throughout the years. And so I'm a firm believer that if you have the leadership styles off of the range, that those are going to show on the range.
Junior JC Carter started shooting rifle for her 4-H and high school team in California, but says the best feeling is being able to continue to shoot at the collegiate level here at UNL.
Being here in the team and the facilities and all the help they give you, it's kind of a dream come true in the fact that I used to shoot in a small high school with a small team, and getting to be here and travel is pretty incredible.
Both Rose McAllister and Carter said they know that rifle can be confusing for people unfamiliar with the sport, but the support they get from their fans and peers at Nebraska is unparalleled.
This state, the amount of support that they have for just the student athletes within the athletic department, no matter what sport, they absolutely love Nebraska athletes. And it never fails anywhere we go. They are always very supportive.
It's a sense of pride, like coming here and being with all the other teams and supporting one another and seeing, who's had a match or meet or game that week. It's really fun. It's kind of like a big family.
For Capital City Underground, I'm JC John reporting.
After the break, reporter Joy Carey will give us a preview on all things music related on campus for the end of the year. Stay with us.
90.3 KRNU is the University of Nebraska's own radio station located in the School of Journalism and Mass Communications. Since 1970, KRNU has been providing Lincoln with new indie music, local artist promotions, and the long support of local businesses. This year, KRNU is celebrating its 45th anniversary and plans to be around for at least another 45. Tune your FM dial to 90.3 anytime, or hear us live online streaming at krnu.unl.edu.
I always knew I was going to study fashion design in college, and I kind of got addicted to the energy.
Just to be able to see all the hard work the students have put into it and how talented they are.
The most innovative designers are students. And I get really excited knowing that kids are still into it. There's just no other industry like it.
Welcome back. As the semester is finishing up, there's plenty of final papers, final tests, and final concerts.
Yeah, and Joy Carey joins us live at the Union with a special guest for more details. Joy?
Thanks, Connor and B. I'm here with Christina Ensign, who's the president of the Student Advisory Board for the Hickson Lead College of Fine and Performing Arts. Christina, go ahead and tell us about some of the things you have coming up as we're getting close to the holidays here.
Yeah, absolutely. Actually, this Sunday at both 3 o'clock and 7:30, 2 showings, we have UNL's Cocoa and Carols, which is a big collaboration of all of our choirs. So we get to hear a lot of great Christmas music, drink some hot cocoa, and we actually have a high school coming in to sing, so the Lincoln East singers will be here also performing with the group.
Well, that sounds like a lot of fun. I also heard the marching band is doing something pretty cool. Go ahead and tell me about that.
Yeah, we have our big end of the year highlights concert coming up, so if you didn't get a chance to make some of the games and see all our shows, we'll be doing every single one of them actually on stage in the leads. So we'll get a little superheroes, a little Uptown Funk, a little Star Wars, so there's something in there for everyone, so it'll be a good time.
It's a lot of shows. How long does it take you to play all that?
It's about probably a 2-hour concert, and then we have some ditties beforehand, so each of the sections will do a little trumpet ditty or a trombone ditty or something like that, so it's
Pretty cool. All right, thanks so much, Christina. If you're not able to make either of those dates, there are a lot of other concerts going on. The a cappella group Bathtub Dogs is performing on the 4th and 5th, and then the women's group Boots and Cats is going to be performing on the 9th. Also, the Kimball Recital Hall is having a concert every night at 7:30 this next week. There's a jazz group, there's an orchestra. You can check out all those events at the UNL calendar. And we're going to give you just a little taste of the music talent that we have here at UNL. Anna Jessic is a music major who is also in the group Boots and Cats, and she came into the studio to sing for us. One of my favorite singers that we've had on the show so far. So here is Anna Jessic singing Make You Feel My Love.
When the rain is blowing in your face and the whole world is on your case, I could offer you a warm embrace to make you feel my love. When the evening shadows and the stars appear, there is no one there to dry your tears. I could hold you for a million years to make you feel my love. I know you haven't made your mind up yet, but I would never do you wrong. I've known it from the moment that we met, no doubt in my mind where you belong. I go hungry, I go black and blue, I go crawling down the avenue. No, there's nothing that I wouldn't do to make you feel my love. The storms are raging on the rolling sea and on the highway of regret. The winds of change are blowing wild and free. You ain't seen nothing like me yet. I can make you happy, make your dreams come true. Nothing that I wouldn't do. Go to the ends of the earth for you to make you feel my love. To make you feel my love.
Really beautiful. Now let's go back to Renata and see how everything is tasting.
Well, you guys, we have Cody and Audra in here, and they are the lucky people who get to taste test it. So here you guys go. Tell us what you think. I think we have a lot of jealous people in the studio right now.
Very good.
That's super good.
Very good.
Awesome. So if you ever want to make this at home for your friends, just throw a little ice cream on there too, and you can make it a little a la mode. Thanks, guys, for watching us.
Well, that is it for today. We want to take this moment to thank you for spending the season with us.
We hope you enjoyed the stories that you saw. If there's anything you'd like to watch again, you can find all of our newscasts at our YouTube page, Capital City Underground.
And from all of us here at Capital City Underground, happy holidays and have a great night.